Hello, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to more Fortnite news. Of course, 7.01 update launching this morning, and I want to start off by saying I am so sorry, guys. I was completely, utterly wrong, and I shouldn't be surprised with Epic releasing an OP update or a questionable update on the day of a tournament. Now, we've seen this in the past multiple times now, and yes, I'm a bit angry, a bit upset. I'm really curious what you guys think about this, but I do want to say I am sorry. Of course, this morning, guys, a brand new LTM called Close Encounters. I thought that would be the release, of course, of our brand new melee weapon, the Infinity Blade, which is ironically enough from an Infinity Blade game that Epic did release a few years ago. Thanks to you guys in the comment section who helped me out with that one. Although it's not, guys. The Infinity Blade is definitely here. It's a new melee weapon, but it's now been released into the live game where everyone can use it. Why? I mean, we look back only a few months, guys. It was actually before the Fortnite Fall Skirmish Finals. Redeploy was actually added to the game 2 days before that. And of course, now we have just a difference between European and North American Winter Royale Finals, guys. The European Finals did not have planes. And now, of course, North American Finals will have planes. And on top of that, just one up them as well, the Infinity Blade will be here. So between the small 2 weeks span, guys, 2.5 weeks, 3 week span between European Winter Royale Finals and North American Winter Royale Finals, we have two brand new things added to the game, planes being one of them, and the brand new Infinity Blade, which has reached, I don't know if this is actually the peak of a rift in the community out there. Certainly a questionable update. I do want to clarify, not too many pros actually complaining about this. I don't think it'll affect pro play too much, but when it comes to being an esport, actually trying to compete in the esports scene, no other developer would ever release a questionable or large update like this the day of an event, which is of course today, this morning, guys. The point of you watching this, Winter Royale Finals are starting very shortly for North America. No other developer, no other game dev would ever think about doing this. I feel like Epic almost does it on purpose to make people like me upset. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about that. But let's of course break down this new weapon, which it's definitely it's weird for sure. So yes, there will only be one weapon in the entire game. You guys have seen the flocks and flocks of people actually going to be Polar Peak, where it's located. So again, I don't think for pro play it's going to affect play too much because you are quite slow with it. Although your movement speed is increased, you guys know what I mean if you actually ever pick one up. It's not easy to get a kill with this weapon unless, of course, you're a casual player. You can have a lot of fun with this because it seems to have some very OP features, especially if you're a passive player and you only go in little short bursts of attacking people and then kind of hiding. And I'll get to that right now, guys. The first polar of the actual sword, the first polar in Polar Peak, actually gets full shield as well as full HP. Alongside that, your primary fire. So that's going to be your primary swing or your strong. I don't know why they call it primary fire, but of course, you know, compared to other weapons out there, it would be primary fire, is going to be your main attack, guys, doing 75 damage to people. Alongside that, though, you can destroy anything in your path. It is absolutely insane. Destroys all builds, all structures, all buildings in just one click. Only 75 damage is kind of surprising. You would think if you had a shotgun up close, you could actually destroy a swordsman pretty easily, which might be the case in most situations. Alongside that, though, your alternate fire or your backup swing, whatever your secondary swing, whatever you want to call it, it's actually a leap. You can leap in any direction, guys. It's pretty far as well. It does 25 damage, but the ultimate thing, if you're in range of an enemy upon landing, it also acts as a knock-up. So pretty much our first ever stun in the game of Fortnite. So it's pretty crazy to see gameplay so far. Kind of mixed opinions. Obviously, with pro players out there, you see some pro players destroying casual players. I don't think pro versus pro this would go very well for the sword wielder, so I don't think it's going to probably affect pro gameplay for the third time now too much. But again, if you're a real developer and you really want to have the esports scene thrive, you do not release these large of updates the day of a tournament to start. But on top of that as well, I think probably the most OP features of this entire thing, whatever you destroy with this sword, that being of course structures as well as, you know, any type of mats out there, rocks or trees, whatever it might be, you collect the mats directly to your inventory. So once you actually pick up the sword, guys, you cannot have anything else in your inventory, so you can only wield the sword at one time, but anything you destroy that actually is a mat, you actually collect right away. So we saw people like this morning, Cloaksy, destroying an entire building. He got 999 mats incredibly fast. Share that with your teammates. So it can be pretty OP in terms of squads and duos, guys, if you want to farm up. But the most OP feature is the healing feature so far, because once you wield the sword, you actually get a bonus HP and shield. You can now actually have 200 HP and 200 shield, which is insane. But most importantly, you can also now passively heal 1 HP per second. And also, when you get a kill, you get plus 50 HP, which is of course what we all want in the game for everyone else out there, which will probably be delayed because of this. that is absolutely insane. In my opinion, very overpowered for a passive player. So yeah, I just went breathless listing off all those details. I will link the update down below if you guys have not somehow read it yet. That was the long list of benefits of this weapon. You could argue though, it could be somewhat balanced. Of course, in close range engagements, if you're just unprepared for it, you're probably going to be dead. But when it comes to actually using that passive healing of the sword, you have to disengage to use that, because you know you're going to be getting shot at the entire time you're trying to run away. You also do have 130% movement speed, so you can move pretty fast away, and you can also leap to disengage. But if you're a pro player, an actual decent aim or shot as you're running away with the sword, you're a pretty open target, because you can't use balloons, you can't use vehicles, you can't use anything else with that sword in your hand. So they're going to be cool to see how this actually does play out. And again, as of right now, I'm not surprised to see people out there saying it's OP. I think though the main complaint right now is from casual players saying, why are you doing this on the day of a big tournament, which is my biggest question as well. I really hope, in my opinion, you guys can leave your own opinion of course down below, I really hope we were going to be correct as of yesterday, and I hope this is actually changed to an LTM. As an LTM, it should be a very fun game mode. Maybe add a few of these swords on the map, but not just make it into the live game with one sword. It seems very odd. And just one quick correction as well, I previously just kind of halfway mentioned as well, you actually can use vehicles for disengage. So that does mean it would be very OP if you have a vehicle out there of some sort. Of course, you cannot use balloons still, but you can use any vehicle to disengage. So you go in for a quick fight, you hop in your quad crash or get out, or your golf cart, you get out really fast, and then you heal up passively, and then you go back in with your 200 HP and 200 shield. Now 1 HP per second is not an immense amount. Of course, you're only gonna ever heal up probably, you know, a minute or two at your longest wait time, depending upon where you are on the map, but still a very OP feature in my opinion. But again, you guys can leave your comments down below. There was one great update thanks to Eric Williamson, the lead designer over at Fortnite or Epic Games, guys, and we did know this was going to be coming sometime soon. I didn't think it would be this soon, and that actually is plane damage upon explosion. So if you're in a plane, it explodes, you will now take 25 damage, but it does still mean you can of course hop out whenever you want and be an easy target. I think certainly a move in the right direction. It's now just kind of a workaround, playing with the amounts of damage this actually, if this will be substantial enough, because people could just jump out of their planes early, or will they take the 25 damage and just go somewhere else? I don't know. I think it's going to be a good amount though. 25 damage to start, for if you guys are in a plane and it explodes, you will take 25 damage. But again, it's going to be Winter Royale North American Finals starting today, guys, and we are going to see how this actually affects gameplay. I'm excited to see some pro players out there, especially during play, because we have pro players out there, not too many tweeting out about this in terms of problems, but we're going to know the real problems when the Winter Royale Finals actually start and someone actually goes for the sword. But as always, my name is Jake, guys. I hope you all enjoy, and I will see you all back here probably tomorrow in a couple days to actually break down Winter Royale Finals and if this update was a big problem. As always, my name is Jake. I'll see you then.